Alrighty, we are live. All aboard. Trying to do my best Tom Hanks impression there. I got the mustache going. I certainly got the hat. Maybe a bit of the shirt. Certainly not the creepy Tom Hanks stuff. I mean, that's where was he on the list? How many times has he been on the island? I don't know. Anyway, welcome aboard, everybody. It is your host and founder and conductor on this wild ride, Demetrius Villa. I am so glad you're all here today on the first of the Christmas streams. This is by far my favorite season, the most blessed season of the year. Happy, it is officially, we are officially in the Christmas season, okay? We have been officially in the Christmas season. No matter how you say it, yes, the defrosting has commenced. We can defrost Mariah Carey. We can go ahead and enjoy eggnog, which should be available until the end of winter. I don't care. It is wrong that eggnog should be taken off the shelves after Christmas. But hey, here we are. By the way, I hope you all are having a wonderful time. A good time, because things are getting pretty bad out there. So let's get through some of the bad news as quickly as possible, guys, because like I've said before, we've talked about this multiple times. It is going to get worse before it gets better. Let me get the chat up on here. Here we go. Yes. Okay. Perfect. Alrighty. A2R Gaming, as always, he's first in line right there. He has fragged everybody to the top. Hello, A2R Gaming. David Jackson, at my ancient age, it is always refreshing to hear the music chosen here each and every time. Impressively good taste and sophisticated. Oh, thank you, David Jackson. Yeah, so that was the beginning. We had Takanaka on the guitar there. Wonderful, absolutely fantastic Japanese guitarist. And then another Japanese song we had by, I believe, a Holy Ghost on YouTube. That is the name. It is a remix of Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence's theme. So that's the good movie too. Pretty dark, but it is a Christmas movie, but it's a pretty dark. I mean, it's a war movie, but I mean, it's more of a war movie than a Christmas movie. But definitely do recommend that you guys see it. Alrighty, YouTube, we are set. Hello, Star Force, Ricardo Noel. Adam Becerra, happy December, everybody. Yes, happy December. Heartless Fiend. Alrighty. What will be the top good rail passenger train use stories in 2026? Probably if we get Brightline West going in, that will probably be some of the best news. But, yeah, I mean, let's get through all the bad news over here, because this has been going around all over the economy. You probably know somebody, or you yourself are going to be, or have been laid off, but it is not good. Things are getting pretty bad out there. Layoffs soar 140%. 7 warning signs point to a deepening U.S. economic crisis. And guys, it's been the most amount of layoffs since October of 2009. Remember that wretched time, 2008, 2009 crisis. Oh man, look, I've said this. We have been in a depression since COVID. And a lot of what happened during COVID was made to mask that sort of stuff. I thought that we were going to go into it just cyclically based on the Fed rates in 2020. And now I was already predicting that back in October of 2019. Unbeknownst to me that there would be some sort of coof coming in from some wet market, or who knows, whether it came out of a lab. Well, I probably came out of a lab, let's be honest. But we can say that now on YouTube, can we? Can we say that now without getting banned off? But yeah, let's. I mean, it's not good, guys. And I've been saying this. Here we go. Ford's Tesla-style workerless strategy causes significant job losses in Kentucky. This is all over. Las Vegas tourism plunges, leaving casino workers on call and struggling for shifts without being laid off. How that one move saves the CEO millions. Yes, it seems to be the. Hold on a second. We got some new sound bits here. Here we go.
The avarice never ends.
There we go. Yes, it saves the millions. Saves the millions, but the people who are actually working, trying to do something, yeah. Not gonna save. It's not gonna save them too much. So, oh well. Yeah, it's not gonna. Hey, look, it's Sin City, it's Vegas. I mean, I don't gamble. I think it's silly. I mean, Vegas would be cool to go to. I mean, the closest I've been to is Reno. I've always just wanted to just at least see Vegas. I'm not gonna go there. I mean, for some reason, I have some sort of fascination watching people just mindlessly plunder away their life savings or their children's life savings away within seconds for some reason. I get some sort of Schadenfreude out of it. I'm not quite sure, but it's just hilarious to just see, especially baby boomers. It's that's the thing. I think that maybe there's a demographic change. I don't know. I mean, definitely a lot of these casinos are catering over to foreign tourists, particularly from China, because China, especially Asia, loves to gamble. I mean, they love you. You want to talk about Vegas? Let's talk about Macau. Okay, that is like giant Vegas Island times 20. That would be cool to go to. Yeah, and a lot of money laundering going in Macau. But yeah, if Vegas is not doing well, it just means the rest of the economy is not doing well. Okay, and Vegas hasn't been doing well since the coup, COVID, whatever. But yeah, it's not good. Amazon. New York Times exposes Amazon strategy to avoid hiring 160,000 people. Yeah, saving 30 cents per item. Yeah, there we go.
The avarice never ends!
Yeah. Oh, man. But it gets a little worse. So, Novelis Oswego aluminum facility in New York, okay, supplies 40%. Here we are. Let's get some context here before we get into the meat of this article. 40% of U.S. automotive aluminum. And they have had, in the last 8 weeks, 3 fires. 3 fires shutting down the factory. Now, we have talked about this multiple times. I keep saying multiple times because this has been an ongoing pattern within the United States. Since we have deindustrialized and become a service economy that can't do basic service right? Now, we've looked over the maps where most of the economy is most states, the biggest company that hires the most amount of people is either Walmart or a hospital or insurance agency, a health insurance agency, or a university that is a hospital network. So that's it. Everybody is sick. Everybody is working for a company that sells stuff to get people sick because they sell crappy food. Yeah, things are pretty bad. But here's the worst part about it is that the American supply chain and logistics system, okay? Because soldiers win battles, logistics wins wars, okay? And the United States, there's chatter here in this country that we want to go to war for some reason with either Venezuela or Mexico. Okay, we can't even get our basic manufacturing and supply chain right. We can't even do that correctly. And by the way, we're out of ammo. I mean, this country is running low on any supplies for ammo. Like, try buying ammo right now. The prices either jumped up or you can't find anything. Okay? All of a sudden, because now a lot of those primers and powder that's being used for that is all being shifted and funneled away for not self-defense purposes for the nation, but for the military, because we've basically given everything away to greatest ally number 1 and greatest ally number 2. And for what? So yeah, we're not gonna be starting wars with anything because we're not gonna be able to supply it. This country is not the same like it was before. So, I mean, this is not the only thing that has happened. If a fire at one factory that supplies 40% of the aluminum that is necessary, not just for automakers, but for a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, it's incredible. Okay? What's going to happen? And especially, look, again, we talked about this before. Two U.S. automakers are critical railroad material. The steel to make America's railroads. There used to be, how many of these? Dozens across the United States, or close to 100, if I remember correctly. And now we're down to 2. Because the one in Steelton, Pennsylvania, is not making them anymore. So yeah, I mean, this is the problem. These layoffs are happening because this is what happens when we take a country that the backbone of this country. Look, we can say, you know, the Industrial Revolution, its consequences, blah, 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 Uncle Ted, whatever. Yeah, and I have to be careful about saying about who was right or whatever, because apparently you can't say that on YouTube either. Regardless, the problem is, pragmatically, realistically, if this country is to survive in modern day, it has to be an industrial nation. I don't care if we all want to go into the backwoods and have our chickens and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, great. Here's the thing. We want this country to be successful. We want this country to be secure. We want this country to be able to provide for the majority of its citizens, for the majority of its nation. We need to have an industrial nation. We need to re-industrialize. We need to build. Having two steel plants for railroads, having one aluminum plant that's 40% of the automotive aluminum, that's not gonna cut it. That's not gonna cut jack diddly squat. Nothing. It's not gonna do anything. It's really. Hold on a second. Where is it? I have it here. Hold on. Where's my Come on. There it is. It's really
Stupid!
There we go. I love these Grinch things. these Grinch ones. Oh man. But hey, look, the economy's gonna get worse. I hope you guys have at least some sort of savings or doing something, side hustles, whatever it is, looking for another job, or at least you have stacked up some
Silver!
I've been talking about silver for years, and look where it is now. Look what it is now. We're not a financial channel, but I mean, at this point, might as well be. So again,
Silver!
Anyway, but yeah, it's everywhere. Look at this. Layoffs slam transport, logistics, manufacturing sectors ahead of the holidays. Which is the crazy part, because this is usually the time of the year where people buy the most amount of stuff. This is what happens, right?
The avarice never ends!
It's the time. 'Tis the season. Everybody's gonna be buying a new car. It's Toyota-thon, or whatever it is. The Lexus season to remember, season to buy another. Lexus, it doesn't even make good cars anymore. I mean, look, there's some good ones, but I mean, I hate the spindle grill. Okay, I just can't. I mean, maybe the LC 500 and the GX are maybe good. I'm still ticked off that they have killed off the LS, but look, it happens when all these cars are just bloated up. I mean, the Corolla is about the size of what an LS used to be. But yeah, look at this. Layoffs announced in the past 5 weeks across automotive, food processing. Okay, and I've heard it from people who are truckers, close friends of mine who are truckers, everywhere else, and this Thanksgiving has been pretty slow. Okay, and usually this is the busiest time, and they're not getting as many loads as they used to before in previous years. People are spending, but they're doom spending in some other things, and they're trying to cut back on others. Or either that, or they're going into massive amounts of credit card debt, which, I mean, usury has been... This is the problem. We're a usury and service-based economy that can't do service right. It sucks, because we're not making anything. We're just ticking people off, and only a few people are making a whole bunch of money off of it, off of basically nothing, out of thin air, more or less. And I'm not joking about that, because that's basically what interest is. That's what usury is. It's making money out of thin air.
The avarice never ends!
But yeah, if we don't make anything real, that's what's going to happen. Logistics manufacturing amount to at least 11,934 workers based on state filings, company announcements, and news reports. The true figure is likely higher. I was just about to say that, as several companies describe cuts as over or occurring in phases without final totals. Yeah, or it can be a reduction in force, or like they're doing over in Vegas. They're keeping you on call, or they're furloughing, or whatever. Anything else, because that's the thing. The unemployment numbers are complete bunk, bogus, and they have been for several decades. Okay? You go over to shadowstats.com, and I don't know what's happened to the website, but it's people have kept up at least the algorithm that was being used by ShadowStats, but the real figure is probably close to 25%, and it's been close to either 20 to 25% unemployment. I'm pretty sure it is close over to 27%. But yeah, all right, so that's the bad news. most of the worst news. Alrighty, but hey, if you guys are on X or on Twitter, however you want to call it, X or Twitter, same thing. We're still tweeting on X, right? We'll post on X, tweet, whatever. It doesn't matter. join us on the fun because it has been quite the week. By the way, this is a real picture I took. This was on my way back home from work on Monday. People just can't seem to drive in it wasn't even 2 inches of snow. Okay, and I know it's for people over in Texas, it's been freezing and they're staying at home. But come up to the Midwest. And Indianapolis is not too far north. Okay, it's not Chicago, it's not Milwaukee, and it ain't Minneapolis. We don't get too much snow in Indiana. Okay, unless you're like South Bend. Okay, which by the way, let me pick up the hat over here. I was trying to get the only song I'm missing, but anyway. Speaking of, they got really screwed over by the board this week, so we're wearing this now. Da 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 da. There we go. Yeah. They better get in. They better get in, or well, I'm not gonna be the only one that's gonna be upset, but there's gonna be someone else in this house that's gonna be extremely upset. Oh yeah. Anyway, so yeah. Apparently, according to this makes it funnier. I don't believe it's a Jeep Wrangler, but for chat, well, Copilot, ChatGPT, that's the same thing, same LLM. What car is it that happened to block my way as I detour around town in my LS 430 with crappy worn all-season tires and no traction control? From the image, the vehicle that flipped onto its side appears to be a Jeep Wrangler or a similar boxy off-road SUV. And this is how I don't know how somebody ends up like this. Again, reason number 472,896 why the average person should be driving an automobile. No good reason to end up flipped over. And it's a 2-lane, one way back. Okay? 30-mile-an-hour limit, 2-lane road, barely an inch of snow. And for somehow you find some sort of fascinating, unconceivable way to flip your vehicle off on its side. No, you don't get the keys to a vehicle ever. Ever. You shouldn't be driving ever. There's no good reason to be like this. You're not Kimi Räikkönen. You're not Colin McRae. You're not a rally driver. And even those rally drivers they're not going to be flipping their cars like this. Okay? This is absolutely bonkers. Insane. No, most people shouldn't be driving. And then I love this stuff. Given your LS 430's rear-wheel drive, worn all-season tires, and lack of traction control, because I can't freaking get to the O2 sensors, and in Toyota's infinite wisdom, they've decided that when the check engine light comes on because you have a worn O2 sensor, that the traction control must also be turned off as well for no good reason. There's no good reason. Okay, I don't care if it has to do. Well, the systems can't go ahead and do that because it may mess. No. There's no good reason to turn off traction control. Sorry, but anyway, I can still drive it. You're basically tiptoeing through a winter minefield. That Jeep might have been going too fast or made a sudden maneuver. Easy to do when you're overconfident in four-wheel drive. Meanwhile, you're out here playing chess with physics. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Chess with physics. That's me. I am playing chess with physics. We did have some good news, though. The National Guardsman seems to be doing well. The one that was shot during the last time we were having this stream. So that's at least some good news. I mean, thankfully and hopefully, I don't know how. I mean, getting shot where he got shot, it doesn't bode well for how his life is going to turn out from here on out. But let's just hope and pray that hopefully something we'll continue, at least something, some good news from there. But yeah, this has been some fun stuff. I've been trying to get more active here on X. By the way, hold on a second, because Peter UK, we all enjoyed our Christmas feast, right? We all enjoyed our Thanksgiving feast. Okay, a week a week before today. We all enjoyed our turkey. Some of you guys, weird, had ham. I mean, if you have both turkey and ham and have a choice or have both, perfectly fine. Some people had brisket or whatever else. But PETA, this is another, I can't stand these people. Your Christmas ham had a heartbeat. Oh, yeah. Sure, okay. And my Christmas ham is delicious. My Christmas ham is delicious. My Christmas ham is delicious. I don't care. These are people that we can't have anywhere.
We are led by very, very
We cannot-
stupid people.
We cannot have these people anywhere.
Very, very stupid people.
Stupid, stupid, stupid!
There you are. And then there's Elijah and Terry. These are people I don't care. Let's all laugh. Let's laugh at this soy boy. This absolute joke. Absolute. Where's my laugh track here? Where's my? I'm sure you guys are laughing on the side, but this is well, I can put this now.
Bruh.
There we are. Where's? I thought I had a laugh track here. Can I search my own soundboard? Can I search my own soundboard? I don't have a laugh track. Okay. I don't know where my laugh track is, but whatever. We'll just give him a
Chicken jockey!
There we are. Can you think of anything else that gives you pleasure at the expense? I mean, I think you mean expense. At the expensive of a expense! Expense, you absolute retard. I don't think something giving you taste pleasure is a good reason to violate a sentient being's bodily autonomy or end your life. Don't care. Didn't ask. Someone's gotta eat. Yeah, eat! Okay, nature eats. By the way, there was a nature documentary. I found like some channel. It was called Wild X or something like that. My wife can remind me, but we were watching these winter predators. Everything from a polar bear to a lynx, an alpine lynx, to a snowy owl, to killer whales, okay, to a snow leopard, and a Siberian tiger. Okay, have you seen how these animals eat? Okay, what was funny was like the lynx basically, and lynxes are according to the rest of wildcats, they're about twice the size maybe of a regular house cat. Okay, about 1.5 Garfield maybe, something like, okay, maybe half a Garfield, but regardless, pretty small compared to, let's say, a tiger or a leopard or jaguar. Okay, but in this wildlife documentary, this lynx goes ahead and captures and kills a fawn, a baby deer in the Alps, and then what does it do? It takes a couple bites, drags the thing. Intelligent as this animal is, a hell of a lot more intelligent than Elijah Leteri, that can't tell the difference between expensive and expense because he's a mental midget. A mental midget, okay? This idiot,
Bruh.
The lynx goes ahead and covers the fawn, the now dead delicious fawn. The delicious fawn. It had a heartbeat. The fawn had a heartbeat. It has now become dinner for this lynx. Okay, that's the way nature works. Okay, we had these canines over here for a reason. That is natural. That is God's given nature. Even if you don't believe in God and you're some silly Billy. Anyway, because in this channel we are a Christmas channel. It is Christmas channel. Anyway, the point is, natural or whichever, or by design, we are meant to be omnivores. Okay? And then this lynx goes ahead and covers the fawn with snow and ice to cover, not only just cover it, but also to preserve it. So the thing has figured out refrigeration. Okay? It's unnatural, it's silly, these people suck. Okay? And unfortunately, they have plenty of money, they have plenty of power that they shouldn't have. So anyway, alrighty, that was our funny little thing from X. I don't know. There's a couple other ones from X, but yeah, there's a couple other things. Let me see over here. Oh yeah, it's Argentina. China's seems like they're all over the place with fishing boats. May I remind them that they may have some basalt mirages left over from the 80s from a certain conflict in certain islands that are not called the Maldives, unfortunately. I'm sorry, Argentines, but it's not. I'm sorry. You didn't win it. You didn't get it. So it's They're not called the Malvinas. Sorry, they're called the Falklands. It's what happens if you lose, you lose. But you still got some of these, so who knows? Who knows? Anyway, alrighty. Enough fun on X. Let's keep on continuing on. Alrighty. So the big news as of the last 24 hours is Trump has apparently given K-cars the green light in America. Shifting fuel economy regulations, Trump has dropped a surprise victory for car enthusiasts here in the U.S. While outlining how his new plans will improve the affordability of new cars in America, Trump has announced that he's asked the U.S. Secretary of Transportation Sean Duffy with clearing the regulatory deck that will allow small cars of the sort sold in Asia, such as Japan's K-cars, to become available in the United States. Now, the main objective of Trump's announcement today is centered on revoking yet another Biden-era policy. The K-car tension seemed to come out of nowhere. In fact, Secretary Duffy looked rather surprised during the briefing in the White House, did not waver from Trump's stance. So, yeah, we can see a little bit of this over here. Let me go ahead and show this on full screen while I go ahead and grab a glass for this. Speaking of beautiful, whimsical creatures, speaking of gnomes, yes, the best beer in the world comes from Belgium. That's just the fact. Sorry, this is not opinion. My opinions are facts. The best beer comes from Belgium in the world. The best beer in America comes from Wisconsin. Okay, Wisconsin's a close second to Belgium, but I'm gonna have some Le Chouf with this. Look at this funny little gnome. Look at that guy. Belgian strong blonde ale brewed with coriander. It's a nice one, but I'll go have it. Anyway, let me go ahead and put this up for you guys.
Japan, where I just left, and if you go to South Korea and Malaysia and other countries, they have a very small car, sort of like the Beetle used to be with the Volkswagen. They're very small, they're really cute, and I said, how would that do in this country? And everyone seems to think good, but you're not allowed to build them. And I've authorized the secretary to immediately approve the production of those cars. So you'll be able to buy they really are, they're actually, some of them are really beautiful, actually. If you take a look, Honda, some of the Japanese companies do a beautiful job. But we're not allowed to make them in this country. And I think you're going to do very well with those cars. So we're going to approve those cars. Would you like to say something about that?
Well, no, just that he never stops working. So even when he's on Asian time, he's calling me at midnight in the States. But he gave me the directive to clear the regulations on this, which we have. And so if Toyota or any other company wants to make smaller, more affordable cars, fuel efficient, we have cleared the deck so they can make them in America and sell them in America.
They're really nice and less expensive. And it really gives people a chance to have a car, have a brand new car as opposed to a car that maybe isn't so great.
In 2000,
It was Trump now. Now it's
All right,
you.
hold on. Okay, now you guys can hear me. Okay, my bad. My bad. Okay. All right. Where do I start back? Okay, that was stupid of me. I should have checked that. Okay, yeah, false Trump's rollback targets tiny K cars. Thank you to the Y. Thank you to everybody up on here for reminding me. I'm just not paying attention. I'm going off on my own silly tangents. Trump's rollback targets tiny K cars like the Suzuki Alto, not the larger Hilux Champ. Anyway, and yeah, the chicken tax is something that needs to disappear. That's a silly thing. Get this out. Anyway, but yeah, here's
Go to Japan.
let me go ahead and play you guys this here.
2003, Top Gear set out to test the Hilux. First, they submerged it in the ocean, let it sit there for hours. Guess what? It started right up. Then they smashed it into a building at full speed. The front end was wrecked, the windshield shattered, but the engine still purring like nothing happened. They even tried setting it on fire, and still it wouldn't die. But the real test came when they strapped the Hilux to the top of a building
Hey.
about to be demolished.
Oh man.
They rigged the whole structure with TNT and blew it to pieces. The entire building collapsed, and the Hilux
Oh, so you mean
came
it could
down with
have survived Building 7?
Unbelievably, after all that destruction, the Hilux survived. It just kept running like a champ. Today, the very same Toyota Hilux is a symbol of durability
They
and
just drive it
resilience,
into the studio
immortalized as the truck that simply wouldn't quit.
to a triumphant applause.
This isn't just a pickup truck. It's a testament to what happens when you build something that's meant to last. The Hilux isn't just tough, it's an icon.
Yeah. Don't need to cherry coat it there or anything. But yeah, look. Now my biggest concern is that we've had this sort of stuff that could have happened in the United States, and the problem is that, you know, you had the Ford Maverick that came out just recently. Okay, and that was touted and promised to be starting at $18,000. We've gone to this whole thing before. Okay, the MSRP went up to 23, then the 25, and then you can't find a darn Maverick in any of these dealerships for less than 32. So what's the point? Well, the problem is that the American auto industry, which has and can be able to make great cars, okay, and the American auto industry can absolutely make great cars. The problem is that the bean counters and the people up top,
The avarice never ends!
okay, the problem is the leadership that you have over in Ford and in GM and in Chrysler's whatever, Stellantis, whatever the hell, they're going to be toast. They're cooked. Chrysler is cooked. But the point is that instead of trying to make cars to adapt to the Japanese threat of the 70s and 80s, they just kept going ahead and lobbying, like they lobbied Reagan, the old great conservative Lord Reagan. Yeah. What a disaster! The gun laws, the amnesty. Yes, great Reagan, wonderful. Anyway, Reagan is the reason why I can't buy a fully automatic. Anyway, the point is that we could have had it all, but the problem is the automakers would rather go ahead and bend the rules in order to stop this sort of stuff. And then they went ahead around anyway. Like Geo, basically Geo was GM's working with, was it Honda or Toyota? I forget if it was either one of those. But yeah, then they were collaborating with the, you can still find a Geo Metro on the road, and those cars were a heck of a lot more durable because they were basically Japanese cars, dressed up to suit American needs. And then stuff like, let's say, the Ford Fusion. Okay? My mother-in-law's Ford Fusion, which was technically my grandmother-in-law's and then just given to her. It's a 2009 Ford Fusion, just hit 100,000 miles. The reason why it's had no problems is because, well, the drivetrain is made by Mazda. So, yeah, we could have the best of both worlds. We can have Japanese reliability and engineering, and we can have American manufacturing. In fact, that's what we do. If you want an American car, you buy a Toyota Camry or RAV4, you buy a Honda CR-V or Accord, those are more American than most American cars. So, yeah, I mean, and the problem is that the point, it's not the American consumer making choices, okay? Because the American consumer barely understands how to use an automobile. Okay, the consumer. I hate the term consumer, but they don't know what the hell they want, and that's the unfortunate bit. Okay, it goes to the apocryphal Henry Ford quote, something to the term of if the customer asked what they wanted, they would have asked for a faster horse. Or Steve Jobs saying the consumer doesn't know what they want. You just give them. You have to give them what they want, right? And the point is that they've bought into the crossover thing because, or larger vehicles like SUVs, and which is why we can't have trains or anything or any sort of transit anymore. Is because it's been lobbied by the American automobile companies that have dug themselves into a hole. Look, they've dug themselves into a hole so deep that it's bad when they're not out here screaming at Trump and lobbying Trump to please not do this. Please don't do this. You're gonna destroy the market. They can't. They're cooked. They're out of options here. So, and this is a pretty good tweet over here. Here lies the core issue with the status quo enjoyer. They simply have no frame of reference for recent history, and especially history that they lived through. Everything is seen through the lens of some pompous neoliberal academic that blamed the American consumer, ignoring all of the government interventionism that brought us to where we are. Again, we don't live in a free market. They will say that actual Americans want bigger houses, which is why small starter homes are a thing of the past and why housing is so expensive. Meanwhile, minimum lot sizes literally made building small starter homes for young families illegal. They will say that actual Americans want bigger cars, which is why we don't have small trucks. Meanwhile, cafe regulations made building this truck illegal. No, consumers didn't wake up one day and decide they wanted a two-seater pickup that got 25 miles a gallon toward Ford marketing service that they want massive trucks that feel like you're driving a Boeing 737. By the way, the Ford Ranger, that's also a Mazda product, by the way. Those trucks were regulated out of existence by accelerated cafe standards under Democrats who literally want to regulate ICE out of the market, or internal combustion engines. It's compounded by the fact that these larger, more expensive products are only accessible via financing that has made lenders unfathomably wealthy.
The avarice never ends!
And contributed to the over-financialization of the American economy. Yeah. And I've replied, companies will and do sell poison and will make a profit if they can. It's really dependent on the moral framework of the company and the laws surrounding it. Enjoy paying Klarna for your Walmart slop. Affirm. They have Affirm options now for paying for your groceries. You can pay your groceries now on 4 easy payments. Yeah, they basically want you. This is you will own nothing, and you will be happy type of people. This is the people that want to basically work this all in. Look at this. Look at the difference between. This is nuts. It's nuts. I will say something about the pickup trucks that we borrowed. My wife's uncle has it's an older. I would say at this point now it's probably close to 10 years old. Dodge Ram. Speaking of Dodge Ram, it's probably, again, 15 years old based on the design because they've been using the same design for 20 years. I mean, the Dodge Charger, Challenger, and Chrysler 300 were basically a late 90s Mercedes E-Class that they just kept making. But the point is, this thing has a naturally aspirated 5.7 liter Hemi engine. Perfectly good. Great car. Fantastic. It is massive. And I was a little concerned about going through like country roads, and then here comes like a giant dually with not carrying anything, with the tow mirrors off to the side. I don't know why. So I'm just kind of like just making sure while we pick up a Christmas tree to not smash into anything. I mean, look, great cars, but I mean honestly, imagine the damage having some regular silly Billy with a Chevy dually or something like that, or 2500 or whatever the hell. I don't know why I keep picking on Chevy today. Well, I hate Chevy. Anyway, but the point is, I hate GM in general, but the point is that yeah, look at the stuff that we used to have. Look at that Jeep Comanche, pretty cool. Okay, this was during the AMC days. I mean, come on, not bad, not bad. But unfortunately, it's again, it's not going to be a bottom up approach. It's going to be a top down approach to fixing this sort of stuff. Okay, but yeah, the comments here have been pretty interesting. Interesting to say the least. Right now the Ford Maverick selling like crazy. Yeah, if you can find one for an actual good price. Alrighty. Yeah, and it's just gonna get worse. American consumers. I hate the term consumers. We gotta stop that. And that's again. That's something that comes from a bottom up approach. Okay, if you yourself stop becoming consumer, which I know most of you guys are not out there, but yeah, look at that. American consumers lose patience with high car prices. Shoppers are downsizing, buying used vehicles, taking on longer car loans. Yeah, you get your 50-year mortgage and your 72-month car lease, holding out for deals. Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's not good. We've said this before. The most dealerships are going to be, or a good amount of dealerships are going to be gone by the end of this decade. Close to what is it that we said? 30 to 40%. Of car dealerships will disappear by the end of the decade. It's the end of this current car culture that has dominated this country since post World War II. So luckily, we'll finally be seeing the end to this at some point in time, and this will be the end. I mean, this is another nail. This is just another inevitability. And Trump doing that is just a signal to that. He knows what people are proclaiming for. Somebody has been in his ear. Okay. I don't know if it was some YouTuber or somebody, or the ones I'm talking about, the ones that love the K cars. But yeah, it's happening. So yeah, again, just keep holding out, guys. Keep holding out. Do not let them burn. Don't touch a thing. Don't buy used. Buy with cash. No loans. None. Don't give anything to the banks. Nothing. You have the title and it's yours. Not the banks. It's yours. Have it yourself. So there you go. Let him burn. Like the Saving Private Ryan quote. There you are. Here's a funny meme. Millennials who went through 9/11, 2 20-year wars, a 2008 financial collapse, and soon to be 2026 at this point. COVID, listening to Gen Z claim they have it worse than any prior generation because they can't buy a house at 23. Boomer talking about how hard it was to afford 3 houses. His grandson that can't even buy a used car. Oh, man. Alrighty. But speaking of our Secretary of Transportation, Sean Duffy, he seems to have an obsession about people wearing pajamas.
My hair done and my makeup done
So,
every single time.
let this
I
play.
think that there is a lot to be said about someone who invests time in their appearance. I get treated better. I feel good about myself, and so I treat people better. And I think that that is a return to civility, and it brings respect to the other person, to me, in terms of my personal space. And I think we should all just invest a little bit more time into how we appear when we're moving through airports and just traveling in general.
So,
I make it a point.
Sean Duffy has made I don't know how many posts about people wearing pajamas. And we need to bring back civility into the airline industry. I don't know how he's going to do that when you have companies like Spirit Airlines that purposefully hire people and then train them and give them incentives to make sure they stop as many people as possible to pay for multiple insane fees for their luggage. And then get upset. They give you you can't bring that on board, ma'am. Ma'am, you cannot bring No, that's too big. That's too big. You can't bring that on board. It's either that or senor, no, you cannot bring that on board. It's either one of those two that Spirit Airlines loves to do. Which, thank goodness, I am not going to Miami on Spirit Airlines. Thank you, Lord. Thank you. Where is hold on a second. Thank you. We will not be taking. Hold on, we will not. I will not be taking Spirit Airlines. Thank you. Thank you. Oh man. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Let's start with making our infrastructure actually look good. Okay? Let's not make our airports look like they came out of some failed, rejected design out of Blade Runner 2049. Let's make sure that we have actual railroad stations and working infrastructure. So when the planes all of a sudden get all grounded because it snows a little bit, it gets a tiny bit chilly out there, oh no, the planes can't fly. We need to have options. We need to have great looking infrastructure again. By the way, an absolute crime to destroy Penn Station. This is Grand Central. But I mean, regardless, we need to make an infrastructure look great again. Okay? And then speaking of these absolute silly billies. There's so many silly billies out there today. So many where is it? Where's the I keep losing this on here. I have so many things on my soundboard over here now. Where is it? Come on. There it is. Stupid! Travelers wear pajamas to airports in protest of government request. So it's the problem that you have a certain subset of people. So there's Trump derangement syndrome goes both ways. There's the sect of people that think the Patriots are in charge, trust the plan, Q is real, and Trump is going to fix absolutely everything, and he is the second coming. Absolutely not. And then there's the other side that think that Trump is literally Austrian painter, that he's the worst thing ever, and we have to fight him because this is like my Cape movies, my Disney movies told me to. Okay, so you have both ways of it, of absolute just silly billiness, and the same people who swallowed bottles of Tylenol, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The same people who swallowed bottles of Tylenol are now wearing Barbie pink power suits or the feathery green cocktail number. This is insane. Okay, these people are unhinged. But yeah, I don't know how many of them came in, but yeah, travelers wearing pajamas to airports in protest of government request. Shame on the Washington Post for not putting a picture of one of these people. Shame on them. So I have to look for the full. I have to go to their X posts or tweets or whatever the hell. Okay. Big Pajama doesn't want you to know, but even when there's no holiday, you can still dress modestly while you travel. Yeah, this is kind of how like I travel. I always take a jacket with me because I have extra pockets. And here's a cheat. Okay, you have extra pockets on a jacket, both inside and out. You can put in multiple things into your jacket, so you don't have to have them in your bag. So there's more weight now surrounded around you that's not in your bag. Okay. You can also have extra space in your backpack because I always carry a sling bag. And I just go ahead and when they say, sir, you cannot take 2 bags, just take it in, put it in the bag and just say, I've literally done this with these absolutely terrible stewardess. And it's the thing, I wouldn't be snarky and snippy with them if they weren't snicky and snarky with me. So I go ahead and just do the same thing. Like I just start going, ooh, magic, 1 bag. And then they just give the stupid face. The stupid punchable face. So, yeah. Oh, man. Yeah. I don't see anybody wearing pajamas. Where's the pajamas? Washington Post, you had one job. That's why journalists suck, too. Oh, man. So many... Stupid! Anyway. Okay. Speaking of stupid... Alrighty, so the California High-Speed Rail Authority has gone ahead and issued a request for proposals for the high-speed concrete project. Hey, love.
Bruh.
What the hell?
Yes, yes, the California high speed. I mean, it even. This is. Oh. Okay. So, in 2025, as of December 1st, 2025, they are now issuing a request for proposals to go ahead procurement for the tracks and the system construction to deliver the systems that will turn the civil works under construction into a functioning high-speed rail line. It is literally taking them how many years to do this now? How many years? For our initial 119-mile alignment in the Central Valley. 70 miles of guideway are complete after how many years? 60 fully completed major structures. Where in California? Madera, Fresno, Kings, and Tulare County. The project continues to advance statewide with 463 miles of the 495 San Francisco to Los Angeles Anaheim system fully environmentally cleared and construction ready. Grug, how long has this taken? All right. Actually, let's hold on. Let's not ask Grug. Let's make it hard on ourselves to actually let's see when construction start. Let me see. Wikipedia's asking me for money again. When will you people learn? You guys have enough money, you get funded by the CIA. I mean, come on. Really? Alrighty. Here we are. Come on. Plans, construction. When did the construction start? Come on. Give me a date. Begin. There we are. Well, we know it's 2008. When they let me see when they broke ground. Broke ground. Don't make me do this. Come on. Don't make me use the AI. Screw it. I'm gonna use AI. When did California high speed? Whatever. Begin construction. Come on. 2015. Yeah. January 6th, 2015. Official groundbreaking ceremony. On January 6th. January 6th. Anyway, yeah. The first vertical structure began construction in June 16, 2015. Where were you guys in 2015? Huh? Where were you in 2015? So 10, almost 11 years later. This is what they have to show for it. We are. It's upsetting. But to make it a little funny over here. A little funny. Some jesting. Some joking. Some Word Tarnation is my laugh track here. I can't find my laugh track. I very much recall us having a laugh track on here, and now I can't find it. I don't want to actually mouth off a laugh track. I'm gonna have to search for one. Forget it. Heck with it. Give me a laugh track over here. Laugh track. Come on. All right, here we go. Not the best laugh track, but anyway. All right. Remember when France's high-speed rail company decided Morocco's government was less dysfunctional than California's? Remember that? Please don't remind me. Please don't. Oh, man. After many years and tens of billions spent, the Gavin Newsom high-speed rail scam is not just NOA soliciting business. They track the most fundamental aspect of rail. What have you been doing all this time? Where's the money gone? How do you plan to build many hundreds of miles long train without having track vendors selected? It's It's very silly. I mean, this is the stuff that they're building. It's unimpressive looking. It's very oh man. Now I don't know if this is oh dear. What is that? Oh man. There's a lot wrong with this. Okay, let me just read this. I'm trying to survive here in this state of confusion, so I recycle pallets and metal for my income. Every time I have to drive on Highway 198 between Visalia and Hanford, California, I have to go under the high-speed rail crap. Roll down the truck windows and give the HSR number 1 a finger salute. But one day I noticed something on the bridge heights. When they built the bridge over the side road, they made it taller than the rest of the structure. They installed a speed bump for a high-speed train. Billions of my money, taxpayers, wasted because they couldn't keep everything flat and straight. Yeah, look where the utility pole is lined up with the bridge support. Notice the rise of the flat bridge, a larger bridge support. Yeah, this is right there. Look at that. It's not good. It's not good. Yeah, the comments are kind of hilarious, but it's not good. It's pretty bad. But anyway, I mean, yeah. Hold on. Where's my reply to this? Over here. I know I replied somewhere. Let's see. There we go. So this guy over here, Kane, France's rail operator SNCF tried bidding. Get out of here, Grok. No. To build California high-speed rail over a decade ago, they gave up and go to North Africa, which was less dysfunctional. Morocco now has high-speed rail. California still does not. Oh, yeah. They didn't Hayden. Look, I like Hayden, but, I mean, the guy's obviously on the left. God bless him. But yeah, absolutely, but attacking the need leadership now that is saving billions on the project and working with the private sector to get it built isn't totally fair. I would like some accountability for the over $100 billion that's about to be vaporized. And then I said, has it occurred to anyone else that maybe we're being swindled and they're purposely dragging their feet not to build it? I mean, they can't be this atrociously incompetent. Remember the $666 million. Never forget the $666 million. Never forget them. When the French say you have too much retarded bureaucracy, you know you're screwed. SNCF also drafted a study, design, and network for high-speed rail in the Midwest. Deemed it to be profitable, never taken up. Yeah. What we could have had. Oh. This sucks. We could have had it all. But no. Look at that. From Indianapolis to the Speedway. You can live over in Madison, Milwaukee. You can live in Detroit or Cleveland or Cincinnati or St. Louis, and you can come. Oh, it goes up to there's Springfield, Illinois. You can come to the Indianapolis Speedway in May. You can speed to the Speedway in May. But no. Can't have that. Can't have good things in this country. We just can't build the good things. Can't build the good things anymore. Yeah. Meanwhile, this is by the way, this is a picture from like what? 13 15 years ago in China. This is insane. This is nuts that we haven't been able to do this. Okay? China started their high-speed rail journey more or less in 2008. California approved this in 2008. This is where China was more or less 10 to 15 years ago. This is where California is today. It's sick, it's sad, it's frustrating, it's wrong. It's just wrong. I mean, could it be worse? Yeah, there's worse way to spend money for sure. At least we are not the Congo, guys. We are not the Congo. This was a $2 million bridge. Here's enjoy. Here's your $2 million bridge. Come on. When I was... I could have been 7 years old. Give me a trip to Home Depot. Give me... Maybe... Let's be fair. Give me... Back then when I was 7, maybe you could buy enough timber and wood for $700. Some nails, steel frames. I don't even see any steel... any brackets on here. They literally just put 2 logs and some stuff together. I mean, look at this point, you could have put in the concrete bridge. You could have. I mean, things. At least we're not the Congo, right, guys? At least we're not the Congo. Materials $550, equipment $100, labor $750. I mean, they're being generous over here. Bribery $1,000. Presidential embezzlement, $1,997,000. Oh, man. Oh, man. Yeah, things should be worse. All right. Let's keep going, guys. It's 9 o'clock. I want to see if I can try to open up the phones in 15 minutes or so. Yeah, speaking of things being built in America, by the way. I was a little harsh on this guy because this is obviously a parody account. And I was too silly to notice that this was actually a parody account. This guy didn't manage $100 trillion in New York City. This is a parody account. So my mistake to the guy who runs this account. I was not familiar with your game. Was not. And he added parody over here. So I guess that was added. If I saw that before, I would have noticed. But yeah. Okay. Anyway. Yeah, this is how probably how this thing was built. I don't doubt it. I'll share the pictures of some of the crazy stuff I've seen in new construction. I mean, it is bad, real bad. I don't know if it's is it Congo bad? Yeah. Okay, maybe not Congo bad. I mean, at least there's some nails. At least there's some brackets. There's something. Okay. The worse traffic gets, the more fast food people eat. The longer commutes gets, the more people stop to get fast food on the way home. Which means endless gridlock can have far-reaching public health implications. Yeah, that we knew about. So that's an interesting thing. Speaking of oh man, foreigners have brought up 52% of new homes in Miami, Florida. Yeah. That's not good. We're never going to be able to buy a home, are we? At this rate. We are never at this point. Oh man, this country needs to change. We need to get back to something here. Something more primal, something more America is what we need. Okay? Not 52% of foreigners that have ridiculous amounts of cash available to go ahead and buy up all the ridiculous condos available and popping up. And it's not like the starter homes that are popping up or family condos that are affordable popping up in South Florida. It's multi-million-dollar condos or apartments that cost thousands of dollars for basically a broom closet. Okay? We need to bring back American manufacturing. We need to bring back this country to what it is. I want... This needs to be the country again. This needs to be the country. This needs to be the country again. Okay? This is what we need. We need to reindustrialize. We need to get this country back on the road. Okay? Here's some actual good AI. Hold on, let me put this on. Look at that. Damn. Okay. Not all AI is slop. Okay, speaking of, I mean, the beginning stuff I have is far more effort than Coca-Cola's absolute... That is AI slop, okay? Because it's low effort. What Coca-Cola did was low effort. It was bad. It was something an intern could have done in maybe an hour and edited and put together, okay? Even the song is probably AI. I guarantee it's AI. I mean, holidays are coming, holidays are coming, holidays... It's so... banal, or banal, however you want to say it. It's terrible, it's crappy, it's low effort, it's garbage. It's AI slop. and it's unbecoming of an American icon of a company. Which, by the way, speaking of slop, Coca-Cola is absolutely slop and terrible, and all their products suck. But the point is that I mean, there's no effort anymore in this country. I mean, look, yeah, the great thing about AI is that it has given the average man availability to a tool to be able to create actual good propaganda. I mean, look, this is pretty cool. What this guy probably made probably in 5 seconds in Grok. Okay, that's pretty cool. Okay, now, and here's the bad thing. Okay, if you think it's bad in the railroad sector, if you think it's bad in the automotive sector, okay, and we talked about this before a little bit at the beginning of the stream. How bad do you think the defense sector is in manufacturing? Because it's really bad. Okay. Now, I remember when I worked for a marketing agency that I did some work for a company that basically recycles defunct missiles to recycle them again, basically take out all their components and clean them up, and have them to be reused. Okay? That's how bad things are. That we have basically expired missiles, and they're going ahead, cleaning them up to go ahead and reuse them again. Because we don't even have the materials available to go ahead and make missiles. Okay? And you want us to go to war with Venezuela that probably has Russian and Chinese weaponry. Okay? And you don't think we need 600,000 Chinese students in our most critical sectors, because they're in our nuclear submarines, they're in our nuclear programs afterwards. Then they come into our military, and then who else? And then they come into our companies, stealing information, sending it back over there. I mean, yeah, great, wonderful. So now you're fighting a multi-front war with not only a foreign government, but also basically a foreign government within our own. I mean, it's silly. It really is. I mean, I don't want to say if our country is cooked, but I mean, we can't afford a war. We can't. It will be absolutely disastrous. Okay? Now, let's switch on to that, because the supply chain can get even worse from here. Now, Trump, I don't know. What he's doing with this, I guarantee he's going to try to push this merger, because Jim Vena is obviously in his ear. Okay? And, I mean, come on. The dude went ahead and supplied a good amount of money, donated a good amount of money to fund the White House ballroom. Okay? And, of course, they're going to have their name sponsored by whatever on there. Okay, we got it. But speaking of this merger, okay, it has now come to the attention that they're now delaying by 2 weeks. Okay? Probably they're going to fix up the language. They're going to try to do something. Union Pacific now expected to file the merger application with federal regulators around December 16th, 2 weeks later than they had originally hoped. By the way, some good journalists. Applause to Freight Waves. Okay, it's probably one of the few news sites that I go to that's obviously been really consistent, really good. These guys are great, and they own trains.com too, so that's why they're all in the same under the same roof. But these guys have been doing a great job keeping up with what's been going on, and some really great reporting on here. So that's there's some good journalists. Some of them are great. Some of them are good people. Right, but yeah, told investor conference on Tuesday that one of the contractors working on a section of the application needed additional time to finish before the massive document could be sent to the Surface Transportation Board. We want to make sure that the final product is ... exceptional, so that when we give it to the STB, that they're comfortable that we've answered the questions and given them the information they want. The application is expected to run more than 4,000 pages. 4,000. Oh, man, what a snooze fest. 4,000 pages. It's basically your average female slop novel that you find on the shelf at at Walmart. Oh man, some of those women derived novels. Oh man, those are. Speaking of consumer garbage, oh man, those are bad. It will detail the railroad's growth projections and operating plan. Once it's filed, the STB will have 30 days to accept the application or reject it as incomplete. So why is it that they're doing this? Of course, there's multiple reasons why, and this article goes into it. BNSF Railroad has asked federal regulators to scrutinize UP's compliance with the condition that they were designed to preserve competition following UP's 1996 acquisition of the Southern Pacific. BNSF argues that UP has consistently sought to block its access to shippers who were once served by both UP and SP, and that UP has prioritized dispatching of its own trains on lines where BNSF was granted trackage rights. So they're getting heat from a lot of sides. They're starting to get some heat. There's some things are starting to now click. Okay. People are getting upset. Ports. Here we are. Let me fix this over here so you guys can at least see the or as much of the headline as possible. All right. And I'll get into the comments over here. I know you guys have been pretty active over here in the YouTube comments. Ports warn intermodal in the crosshairs of railroad merger. Warn of significant consequences. No consequences. No changes. Of the UP Norfolk Southern deal. Yeah, let's go to the key takeaways. Major U.S. ports and maritime stakeholders warn federal regulators that the proposed Union Pacific Norfolk Southern merger would drastically reduce intermodal competition from 4 to 2 major providers. They expressed strong concerns that this consolidation could significantly harm port competitiveness, disrupt cargo flow, undermine regional economic development, and impact overall supply chain resilience. Yeah, we're not going to get back to this anytime soon. With this out of the way, National Association of Waterfront Employees urges the Surface Transportation Bureau to thoroughly evaluate the merger's long-term logistical and economic impacts, highlighting existing challenges of railroad investment in marine terminals. And it just keeps going. BNSF on UP North NS merger. Don't ruin a good thing. Shippers will have fewer options, says Western Railroad. So there's a fight. There's a fighting. It's brewing. And I'm glad that there's at least, this is not just flowing through and it's going to be rubber stamped by the STB because Trump said, Jermaine is a great guy. He's wonderful. He's fantastic. He gave me a sizable donation for the ballroom, and it's a wonderful, beautiful ballroom. I don't know. We're building a ballroom. One of my friends just got shot through the neck. We're building a ballroom, by the way. It's a beautiful ballroom. Have you seen it? Have you seen the ballroom? Stu is basically a soy jack pointing to the ballroom. Poor Charlie got shot. Well, look at the ballroom. Look at the ballroom. That was weird. That was just awfully weird. Anyway, I mean, oh man, it's not good. I'm glad they're getting some stuff. And then Union Pacific CEO Venice says America needs coast to coast railroad now. Really, why now? Why now? It's oh man, he's really trying to push this. The shareholders, he's getting it from all sides. The shareholders are starting to burn up some things. They want it. They want it now because
the avarice never ends.
They just need it now. But now he's getting pressure now from all sides. I mean, you have his competitors, you have his customers that don't like this. Okay, nobody liked it. Okay, it's not good. Ahead of mega merger, railroads say they study economy and supply chain. Trade group says rail's best other transport modes. Okay, and it's true. Now, released analysis support a controversial Union Pacific Norfolk Southern merger, emphasizing rail's critical role in stabilizing U.S. economy and supply chain. Now, this is kind of weird because the American railroads, obviously, they're getting a good amount of a sizable income here from Union Pacific, but the research states that rails in general, railroads, are the best way to move stuff in the economy. Absolutely. Now, that does not mean, and this is a very it's a weird statement, to support Union Pacific Norfolk Southern merger, emphasizing rail's critical role in stabilizing the U.S. economy and supply chain. But yes, this merger specifically will mess up the whole supply chain. That's the problem. Yes, rail best other transport mode. We know that. That's great. That's absolutely logical. we get that. We get that. But why? Why? Now we know claims freight railroad acts as a shock absorber for I hate the term consumers. Controlling costs and mitigating inflation more effectively than trucking. Yes, with slower and less impactful price changes reaching the C word. The analysis highlights rail's resilience to supply chain disruptions and its superior fuel efficiency, which reduces vulnerability to energy price fluctuations and offers potential for significant savings if more long-haul freight shifts from trucks to rail. Great. So this is not a good thing, right? Because by what you're saying here, and again, it's just a summary of what the Association of American Railroads is saying. Back in the 1950s, the Association of American Railroads was against this sort of stuff, and they were trying to stop the government to prevent these sorts of mergers because they were on survival mode, and they were trying to stop the government from over taxing the railroads to death to go ahead and fund competitors. That was what Perlman said, who was the head of the New York Central back then. In multiple times, and in order to survive, they had to consolidate. This is not survival mode. This is just pure greed and avarice in motion here. Here you are. Rail merger, no guarantee of growth, analysts. Railroads have seen long-term moderate freight railroads over the past decade. Again, why? Because what the former CEO of CSX said. Instead of going ahead and aiming for technological improvement, aiming for operational improvement, instead, the whole thing has been precision scheduled railroading type of practices instead of boosting the railroads, we're boosting the shareholders. Why? Because
the avarice never ends!
That's why. Yeah, over the past 10 years, intermodal freight has underperformed versus benchmark, said consultant Larry Gross during a panel discussion at the Rail Trends Conference. This includes gross domestic product, long-haul trucking, containerized imports. Unless something changes, we're not going to see growth or recovery. Yeah, because that's the thing. Let me get the article real quick for you guys. I know it's 9:17. We're getting there. We're almost there. Real quick, I'm getting there. But I just want to make sure that I get this point across somehow, okay? It's a live show. It's not a lounge. I get it. I'm sorry. I apologize. But it's been a little bit. We've had a lot of news breaking in the last week since Thanksgiving. It's a chill stream. Get a drink and enjoy. Look at the little pink elephants on there. Isn't that adorable? Oh, these little pink elephants. I love these little gnome. Come on. Just all these whimsical fellows over here. Okay, here we go. Let's see, former CEO. Let's see if I can find that. Let me see if I can find the article here. Great waves. Come on. Let's see. Here we are. Why have railroads seen long-term modern freight railroads over the past decade? Does it have to do something with the quote-unquote obsession with profit margin stunting railroads' growth? There you go. That's why.
The avarice never ends!
Because instead of prioritizing the railroads and the needs of the American people, the shareholders have been prioritized. Hinrichs was completely correct on this. There you go. U.S. rail tracks have been stagnant over the past 15 years because the Class 1 railroads were obsessed with profit margins while neglecting growth opportunities. Former CSX CEO Joe Hinrichs says, which is sad. This guy was a great CEO. Okay? From this statement alone, that is a lot more moral backbone than most 99% of America's CEOs. And it's sad that this is the state that this country has become. Okay? Yeah, you can say people like Rockefeller or Carnegie and all the so-called robber barons of the Gilded Age or whatever. No, the robber barons are the people we have now. The people who wear shorts and ill-fitting shirts that go on yachts and then have these weird obsessive things to go on islands, certain islands, on a certain private jet with a certain individual that probably didn't kill himself Yeah, these are these are so-called the upstanding CEOs and captains of industry of today. Sure. Okay? No, we need people like this guy. This guy at least harkens back to a business leader that at least cared about the country. Okay? Because for all their faults, Carnegie or Ford or Morgan or any of these guys could not fly over to a certain best ally as the country was burning. They were in it to win it, high or die in America. Okay? And they funded great projects that still stand up to this day. They funded great infrastructure, beautiful buildings, libraries, railroad stations, churches, community centers. Still in existence today. And unfortunately, if you have that sort of belief that you want to do something better, that there's something more than just the money. There's a metaphysical side to doing business, to having a company, to doing better for the nation. There's something more than just having green line go up. And unfortunately, you get booted out. Because you have sick people like Ancora Holdings. It's all about the money. It's all about
The avarice never ends!
that button's gonna be broken by the end of this stream. There we are. And it's both sides saying it. This is the Republicans say the same thing. Rail merger could raise prices, hurt U.S. ability to compete, says GOP legislators. Republicans pressure STB on monopolistic UP NS deal. This is just a bad deal. It's a bad deal. The art of the deal. The art of the. I wrote the book. The art of the deal. Great book, wonderful book. I wrote it all myself. I did on a typewriter. I was on a typewriter with my hands, my great enormous hands. Look at my hands. They're enormous hands. And I wrote The Art of the Deal. Great book, wonderful book. It was a bestseller. Great book. And I believe this UPNS deal is a great deal because my best friend, Jim Vena, great guy. Oh, man. I need another swig. Oh, man. This is bad. Rail merger could threaten national security. We were just talking about this, right? We are going to return. We are returning to tradition, guys. We are going to return to tradition. Unfortunately, oh man, this is just not good. Yeah, and this we've talked about this some before. Advice exacting review by STB. Look, we need to go a step further. Everybody's asking. We need further scrutiny on the deal. Okay, no, stop asking for scrutiny. They are going to look at the deal. Actually, in fact, here's you know what's going to happen. Nobody's going to look at this deal. None of these people are going to read 4,000 pages. You think anybody on that board now? With AI, you can just feed it into AI in PDF on Copilot, ChatGPT, Gemini, whichever model you want to use, and you can get it to summarize whatever you want, and you can go ahead and spar back and forth and argue with the AI all you want on this sort of stuff, and probably get better answers out of that. But the thing is that we're asking for scrutiny. We're asking them to look at this closely. We're asking them to no. We're not asking them to look at it. We're not asking them to scrutinize. We're not asking them any of this sort of stuff. No, don't ask them for that. Ask them to kill the deal. Don't ask for more scrutiny. It needs to stop. Stop being nice. Stop being nice. These guys are your competitors, and they're going to run you to force. They're going to force you to go ahead and have another merger. They're going to force the economy and forcing the freight railroads into a state where it's just going to be complete gridlock, complete duopolies, monopolies, whatever the hell you want to call it. It's not going to work. It's going to just benefit the shareholders of BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street, but it's not going to benefit the economy. It's not going to benefit the American industrial backbone. It's not. It's a parasitic move. It's bad. Stop asking them to have more scrutiny. Ask them to kill the deal. It's bad. No, it's wrong. This is obviously a monopoly. That's what it obviously is. Alrighty. Some good news. Fortress. We love Fortress Investments here. That's at least a good investment company. Fortress buy of Wheeling and Lake Erie approved. Investor expands to 7 regional and short line rail roster. Okay. At least it's another good CEO, I think, is Wes Edens. Okay. The guy does have at least a love for this country, a love for the American spirit. All right, look at this. This is pretty cool. Look at that. We're going to see a lot of these cool paint jobs and liveries throughout the next year. This is going to be a great look. I mean, yes, economically, 2026 is probably going to be a pretty crap year. I don't know. And coinciding with the 250th anniversary, I don't know. At least we get some cool trains. At least we get that, right? You gotta take what you can. All right, the STB actually done an actual good thing. Has approved Fortress Investment Group's acquisition of Wheeling and Lake Erie Railway and the Akron-Barberton Cluster Railway. The acquisition will be effective December 26. There you go, a late Christmas gift. In a press release Wednesday, the board notes that the two properties would join 6 Class 3 railroads already in the Fortress portfolio through rail company Transtar. That one customer currently served by both the W&LE and Transtar's Union Railroad supported the transaction and that there were no filings in opposition to the purchase. Approximately 982 miles in Ohio, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, and Maryland. The ABC operates approximately 84 miles in Akron, Ohio area. Both were previously owned by the Wheeling Company. There you are. So yeah, Fortress Investments, who also owns Brightline. There you go. That's some good news. Some other good news. Amtrak restores the Lakeshore Limited direct rail service after a hole was repaired. Brings back service to more than 80,000 riders relegated to buses during the repair. So yeah, there you go. Finally, you'd much rather be on a train than on a bus. Let's be quite real. Come on. There we are. Look at that. That's a beautiful view right there. Look at that. There you go. Back on track. Back on track. Oh yeah. All right. You know what? I'm gonna end it there. I don't think any of these all these articles kind of just kind of let's end it on a good note. There you go. Alrighty, guys. Let me see what's going on in the YouTube. Yes, I fixed my audio. I hope I did. Wonder how many people use Brightline for the holidays. From Mr. Reed's Trains 89. We'll probably get the numbers probably sometime in March. Yes, Spirit Airlines is just garbage heap, Ricardo. I get it. I absolutely understand. Jim Bones, I would not mind having less than $50,000 houses again. Yes, technically are less than $50,000 houses. You don't want to see the state that they're in. And by state, I mean like where they are and the conditioned state of how they are. Jim, my friend, that was 50 years ago in California. David Jackson, one of the good boomers here. Yeah, it's, oh man. I wonder how much the house that you could have bought 50 years ago in California for less than $50,000. Probably worth now, what, $1 million now? Yeah, January 2016. There you go. Okay, you guys got me there. Little to no good rail news in 2026. Look, we take what we got, man. This is the news that's going on right now. This is what we got. I'm trying to look for some good news. Hey, I got some good news. There's some good news, and there's some good news. But, I mean, yeah, in comparison to the rest of everything else, not so good. That seems to be simplified silliness, Ricardo. What about foreign policy? I blame GM for ruining this country. Yeah, you know, I mean, I would say single-digit parts of it. But David Jackson has a point. Yeah, foreign policy, a whole lot of stuff. I mean, look, you had the wrong people get into power and allowed to get into power. Because there's always going to be bad people. The issue is, do we allow bad people to do bad things? Or do we stop bad people and have consequences for bad people so they can either change or change into a physical different state of matter? Not solid. I don't know how you want to do that, but let's see. 75-minute monologue session. Yeah, It's been quite a bit. Annex Baja and Western Canada and Greenland. I don't want to. We have too much stuff as it is, man. Czech Pilsner, Urquell is my favorite beer. Yeah, Urquell's pretty good. The Czechs make some really good beer. That's probably I would say Belgium. Yeah, probably Belgium, Czech Republic, Germany. That's 3 best in Europe. That's how it'd go. Good news in Madison. Okay, we'll share some good news in Madison. Put a link on the Discord. Okay, hold on. Let me get a link for you there so you can come ahead and join on in. Let me see if I can find, where is it? Let me go ahead. Copy the link. Link is in the, there you go. All right, guys, here's the link. I'm going to pin it so you guys, if you haven't joined the Discord, first of all, join the Discord. Second of all, why haven't you joined the Discord all this time? Go ahead. Join in on the fun, because the fun begins now. There we are. Okay.
There we go. About time, Dimitri.
It's about damn time.
About time.
But one moment.
I've got them unhinged screenshots to show you of a very stupid car brain retard.
Oh boy.
Yeah, well, you showed us last week. But before we start, I've got a good announcement to make, because I was told last night before the dawn that my sister Crystal gave birth to her 3rd child, a boy.
Oh,
and I'd like to say,
how wonderful! How wonderful!
Have a wonderful day, Crystal. You can take the rest of the week off.
Nice. All right, everybody there. Congratulations to Crystal. That is wonderful news. Thank you, man. That's great news.
I got some horrendous news up in Florida.
Come on, we just had great news, Brightline fan. Now you want to say, I have some horrendous news, guys.
You can't do that this soon.
Here's the thing.
What's your problem, man?
I've heard from the Florida Department of Transportation, they are getting rid of all the conservation areas in Central Florida, in Orlando, and they're building 6 new turnpikes on that land.
Guys, one more lane. We just need one more lane. Don't you know that one?
No, we don't need one more lane. We need 0 lanes. Period.
Just one more lane, bro. I swear, it's just one more lane, bro. I swear it's gonna fix traffic, bro. Just come on, just one more lane, please. Just one more lane, bro.
The problem is one more lane works, but you have to have
not only that they're trying to make Orlando spread out. That Orlando sprawl is going to affect the environment there. So not only they're trying to build, so they are trying to cut rail funding. They're trying to cut Tri-Rail. They're cutting funding from Tri-Rail and putting that on, and they're giving it to more turnpikes.
Yeah.
No, and
look,
dead man.
And here's and the worst part about it is that when they built the original Tamiami Trail, it blocked a lot of water coming down. So here's how. Let me just get a map real quick, and this is just coming back from my class I took on Florida ecology back in college. By the way, it's funny when leftists talk about what to do with with invasive species, and then it's hilarious when they start talking about illegal migrants. It's like, yeah, these people will literally say we need to burn and kill every single invasive species that comes in. Okay, applying that. Are you gonna apply that same logic? But anyway, so here's the thing. Florida is basically a giant aquifer underneath. Okay, so a lot of the water that comes through is flowing down from Central Florida, flows into Lake Okeechobee, and basically it's like, think of it as veins. Okay, all these aquifers and all these little underground rivers flow through, and basically flow all the way down, bringing fresh water down in through the Everglades and out into the ocean. Now, what happens when you start cutting down and blocking a lot of that fresh water? You have a whole lot of salt water that comes in to the Everglades, that comes into Big Cypress, that comes into Biscayne. Okay, and instead of brackish water, at least over here, now you're having brackish water back over here, and the gators, the deer, a lot of the animals and everything that come over there now have to keep going inland, and now competing for space or basically die out. So now it's a terrible thing to do. It really is. Okay, and the problem is now they have to rebuild the whole entirety of Tamiami Trail and keep they have to basically now put this whole thing up on stilts more or less because they basically blocked out to the point that, I mean, when I went there with my wife on my honeymoon, a lot of these airboat tours weren't functioning because there was no water. There was a drought. Why? Because you've closed off a lot of the ways where all this water starts coming down over here. And a lot of that's the fresh drinking water that much of South Florida uses. So the Everglades and all this coming down from South Florida and Central Florida is supplying the fresh water for not just the animals, but for the people. Okay? For including even the 52% of foreigners that bought new homes in Miami, which probably aren't going to live there all the time. So yeah, there you go. But bad news. That's a pretty bad news, Brightline fan. Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, it is.
Dimitri. Dimitri, click on the spoiler I just sent. Click on the spoiler.
Yeah, I saw
it's
that.
funny.
Let's see.
I cannot like that.
Yes, officer, that's the man. Oh no.
Can you go? Can you go?
All right, that was fun. Okay. Dad, you gotta go.
But yeah,
you gotta go, Dad.
But like it's what I would talk about. Like do you see the screenshot I sent?
All right, let me
this
check
guy, total idiot. Like,
okay, here we go.
Read his screenshot and read my response to it.
Let's bring in the where is it? Where's the? I keep losing it for some reason. This I just gotta put them
I see it
together. Hold on. Where is the soundboard? There we are.
Stupid!
Alrighty, there we go. Here we are. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. All right. A car is equivalent to a horse. The only people who didn't have a horse were slaves. Don't be a slave.
This guy is idiot. And read the
be a debt slave. Just 72 months, bro. 72 months to lease it, but you're gonna be a slave. Unlike a horse, you have to pay for insurance for said car plus tabs, which you need to be replaced yearly. Yeah, it's true. I mean, oh man, this is complete car brain here.
Yeah, did you call him?
Oh, he's getting roasted in the comments here. Oh man.
Like dude.
Okay.
I went all.
All right, I'm not gonna go through this whole entire thing here. David, baseball bat diplomacy doesn't work on Facebook. Let's be careful with that one there. We gotta hold back on the Fed posting, guys. I mean, look, I get it. It's funny and whatnot. And I love baseball's a wonderful sport. I love baseball, and honestly, the pinnacle of baseball for me was when the Marlins won the World Series against the Yankees. I will never forget that. That was like one of my best childhood moments. But hey, I mean, look, let's be real. I mean, the consumer,
let's not use the baseball bats.
The consumer doesn't
let's
know
use the cricket bats instead.
I know the consumer doesn't know what they want. They just don't. They just don't know what they want. Let me read something here. Mr. Reed Strains 89. With Fortress Investment recent acquisitions of new railroad, could they be planning to start more passenger rail services in another part of the country? I mean, they've been talking about it. Brightline has been talking about different services that they could provide. They've talked about Atlanta to Charlotte, St. Louis to Chicago. Now, St. Louis to Chicago, I don't know if that's going to happen. St. Louis is not too good, and I've been to St. Louis a couple times. Not a great place. Right now,
I'm sorry, you went to St. Louis.
Between those two
cities.
My condolences.
Yeah, St. Louis.
By the way,
look, it's not as bad as East St. Louis, but I mean, man.
Chicago once.
Yeah, Chicago. Honestly, Chicago is not as bad as it seems to be. But I mean, look, I mean, it's been getting worse just the way things are going. speaking of Chicago, hold on. Let me play this this clip over here. If it will come up on X. Where is it? Where is it? Here we go. American judge is watching a mother of four get set on fire by a 5-time convicted criminal they let out on bail for $1.
I don't get that.
By the way, Dimitri, I snuck in a Christmas train.
Yeah.
I snuck.
Look, Chicago's a nice city and all, but I mean, yeah, man, the crime is a problem. What's
as
up?
nasty as New York and New Jersey seems, is actually the last American. I heard it's. I can confirm that it's definitely the last American city.
What's the last
for functioning public transport?
Are we talking about New York City?
Yes.
I mean, Chicago's public transportation is pretty good too. I mean, it's not as extensive as the New York subway. It's still, I'd say it's a close second, but yeah, I mean, it's not good when this is where we're at, that we're like hinging on New York City as our prime example of working public transportation, when the MTA itself can barely get itself working to even world-class standards, which is sad, because this is like basically New York City is basically Rome, as Nicolas Cage said in The Family Man, and Rome is falling. Okay, Rome has basically fallen at this point. I mean, it's not 476 AD yet. I don't know if it's 2026 or 476, but I mean, man, it's looking quite close. Anyway,
this is not 1453.
Wow. Yeah, or 1453 fall of Constantinople too. Yeah, that's another one.
As I was saying, when I was in it really is intermodal, seamless in New York, New Jersey area. It's really still supreme when it comes to public transportation.
I know, man. I know. And look, coming from somebody who, and look, Darius,
we popped in.
It would
I saw the Hudson Burger line rail right next to it.
Yeah, I get it, man. Look, let me hold on.
I took.
I get it. Hold on, Darius. For New York City, I get it, because we've been there multiple times, dozens of times, and yes, it's great.
I actually took in a ferry this time.
I know, man, but here's the thing. Once I went to Tokyo, that just blew everything out of the water. It just showcased how absolutely far behind and how bad things are in this country. We can't even lay a candle on Tokyo. And by the way, Tokyo, we can't even, I don't have to worry about getting stabbed or burnt into flames or anything like that.
Pushed into the rails or the water.
Yeah. Brightline Clippy. What are you doing, Brightline fan? You're on Roblox?
Yeah, just playing a Roblox game.
Alright. Careful who you talk to on Roblox, man. You don't know if you could be talking to D. Jeffrey Epstein on Roblox.
I see you.
No, that'd be his third cousin.
Oh man.
But I like to answer a question from earlier in the YouTube chats of Sager's question of rebuilding trains for 21st century, or how about maglevs. It's like, the thing is, I got bored about a year or two ago, and I actually did the math, and it cost about 70 cents per mile just to own and operate a car, according to AAA. And for high-speed rail, it's about 30 to 70 cents a mile, depending on whether you go with coach or first class. So first class ticket on high-speed rail is the same as owning and operating a car. But for maglev, you really only get the benefits around 400 kilometers an hour, which is 250 miles an hour or faster. So you're talking about, at best, 50 cents a mile for the coach for maglev trains. So it's slightly cheaper than owning a car, but if you have two or more in your group, it doesn't really make much sense on the economic side. But for the speed side, if you can get that thing up to, say, 400 miles an hour, which Japan's super maglev train got to, you're still talking about it being competitive with planes up to about, what, 1,000, 1,200 miles? So that's most of the country being connected, and you can go across close to a third of it by rail. not including regional rails and slower trains to fill in the smaller towns and cities that are not connected to the system. So, yes, it would be much better. But one, you're talking about needing a lot more electricity than a high-speed rail system to move the same distance. So, if you're not talking nuclear, hydro, or geothermal, you're not going to go for maglev
here in Florida, but
the N word. You know what the N word
Margaritaville's
is?
are right nearby.
It's the nuclear word.
Oh, speaking of that,
Minor Tree, that's some really good analysis. If you could share that with me, that'd be pretty cool. But yeah, no, cost effective, cost wise, high speed rail just makes absolutely perfect sense. I mean, I agree that maglev for sure, and honestly, I think that'd probably be the future that we could jump to. But it's just nigh impossible in this country. I mean, the Northeast maglev was a great proposal. It should have happened, but that basically got well, pun intended, railroaded, because there was you didn't have anybody on top pushing it. And look, it was during the Obama administration. It was going through the Biden administration. Did we hear anything? Was there any sort of priority from the federal government to make it happen? I mean, it was right in their backyard, D.C. to New York, within 90 minutes. Could have happened, could have built it, but no, that wasn't their priority. So it's unfortunate. It's sad. And we should be having these sorts of discussions of how cost effective these sorts of systems are, because
and if you go on the economic side, it basically comes down to 4 people in your group. If you have 4 people in your group, when you're talking high-speed rail versus driving, it's a coin flip. 3 or less, guaranteed take the train. 5 or more, you can carpool together. And you know what you just did? You just lowered the amount of traffic on the very same freeways, which, regardless of which option you take, at the same time, without having to put a dime into marketing, carpooling, or taking the train.
Yeah, it's
being that Alan
it makes sense.
Yeah, and that doesn't even take away from those that are going to switch from taking the plane to taking the train, or deciding, you know what, I want to actually go on this trip now because it's actually reasonable. So you actually increase the amount of demand through induced demand. The only problem is it's a lot of money up front. Then you also have to confirm that your electricity generation, but once you take care of that, congratulations. You've just addressed a major amount of traffic issues right then and there. You then deal with a good regional rail system and mass transit in the metropolitan area issues. And oh, look, now you've solved traffic for 90% of instances other than construction traffic or car accidents.
Yeah, no,
once you do that, half of your highways are overbuilt. But we're talking, even if we decide to get rid of the regulation issues tomorrow and it goes into effect first thing next year, it's still going to be 5 to 10 years to build all that out.
Yeah, no, this is something that should be prioritized and built ahead a lot.
First.
Yeah,
you gotta look at the right of way first.
Yeah, but even if you got the right way dealt with immediately,
they're more interested in building those than building a viable community.
Guy, can I speak? Can I speak
now? Go ahead. And then we're gonna look at Adam Everywhere's article here.
Yeah, I was about to say that Alan Everywhere, I seen your Amtrak train in a new route and a new station. Am I right?
Of course, they're doing that everywhere.
All right, so let's read the article over here that Adam Everywhere says. City of Madison, Wisconsin, where my wife was born. I wish you can come over here. So there you are, some Wisconsin news. City of Madison proposes 2 locations for potential Amtrak stations. I forget what the name of these lakes are, Mendota and Monona, I think that's what they are. But there you go. And then the funny thing about this capital city, it's like right in between those 2 lakes. So here you are, proposed 2 locations for Amtrak stations. The proposed train line would extend the Hiawatha line, which currently connects Chicago and Milwaukee. We've heard from Amtrak that they are very, very interested in Madison as a new market for passenger rail, says Liz Collin, a principal transportation plan with the city. Collin explained that the potential Amtrak route would provide another means for people to travel to and from Madison. Quote, we have a lot of business travel and a lot of tourism that would utilize this service to Madison. The proposed station locations are East Johnson Street and Wilson Street. Callan said the Wilson Street location, which would use existing freight train tracks, is more optimal. We want to make sure the location's in place that's really convenient for people to get to, and then get to their final destination. So yeah, there you go. That's super cool. Let me see if what they have over
makes
there.
sense, but it's on a free line, so you gotta look at what is the freight traffic on the line before passenger service can begin.
Yeah.
Now
let me see how close it is to
I
the
do want to bring
city.
it.
Yeah.
Now I do want to bring it up.
I mean, if it's going to be the same trains I've been using, probably what, 89 miles an hour?
If it's 125 miles an hour, which is similar to the lower end of the higher speed train sets, that would end up about 5 to 8 cents a mile for every seat. So
yeah, because they're using the Siemens
about
Chargers, so I mean it's the same train sets they've been using already on the Hiawatha and on the Wolverine and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it should be more or less the same.
Basically same
yeah.
thing,
So
but
once
it's
you
not a
do
straight
the
train and a
economic
platform.
side, you're talking about groups of 8 to 10 is the break-even point.
Yeah. No, this is it's
This
is it's a no-brainer for sure. It's an obvious fact that we need to be building this sort of stuff here.
And also, Madison
do
is the
wanna
state
bring
capital
this up.
and it's college.
Dimitri, I do want to bring it up. Once they do this, who is going to lose the most money in businesses? Who's going to lose it? And they're two big. They're not two, but three big factors: the car doers, the airlines, and Greyhound. Because that'll be competition right there. Am I right?
Well, here's the thing: which of these companies are going to get another bailout? Because they're just too big to fail. So Greyhound may go by the wayside. Greyhound may disappear. Sure, okay.
Yeah,
not
those are
GM.
lines that also run
GM
through,
is not going to go anywhere because they're too big to fail. And if they've done it once before, twice before, they'll do it again.
Well, the thing is Greyhound existed while the passenger rail lines were still existing. So, yes, they would lose some business, but they would not lose all their business.
Yeah, and I don't think that. Yeah, Greyhound is not going to disappear. I mean, obviously, their market is for people who can't even afford a car or they can't even get on Amtrak. So they need absolutely the cheapest possible way to get anywhere around the country. That is Greyhound's market. Okay, and that's always going to exist in this country. That's always going to be around. So I don't think that's ever going to disappear. Maybe they lose some here and there or whatever. If Amtrak could get more lines going and can be able to bring down the price. But even in Japan, you have major bus lines and overnight buses. I mean, there's multiple ways to get around Japan. You can drive if you want to rent a car. You can go ahead and take the Shinkansen. If you want to take JAL or ANA to another place in Japan, you can. Or you can take a bus, and there's a lot of bus lines, and they're pretty nice buses. I mean, we were thinking of maybe doing that from Osaka to Tokyo, but we wanted to take the night train, but the night train was completely packed full. So we just said, you know what, fine, we'll just go ahead and go on the Shinkansen and go back home, and that's what we did. Or not back home, but back to the hotel in Tokyo. And I mean, it's incredible. What having options can mean for the country. It really is.
You gotta think about same day service going there and back.
Will really be something for everybody.
Yeah.
Even though there's the optimal best way to travel.
Yeah, just long
distance.
Have the options.
Plane is still the best way to travel.
You think?
And
well,
between islands,
and majority of countries,
planes.
well, you gotta think about distance.
Yeah. Alrighty, guys. It's 9:54. Let's end this at 10 o'clock.
Let's go to 10.
Yeah, the 10's a good time. Alrighty. What's anything else you want to mention here? What's up?
We got the curse meme.
All right,
I just looked at curse meme.
Curse memes.
He will be banned for that for a full month.
David, this is extremely cursed. What am I?
What the hell? Oh my God!
What incarnation is this?
Both of the memes are funny.
What, David? What the hell are you posting? What are you posting on our club, man? What is this?
This is why he will be banned for
this
a
is
month.
Cursed, man.
Yeah, I got block sign on him.
Oh no.
It cursed,
it reminds me of another It reminds me of another Thomas fan fiction I've read. I don't even want.
Yeah, I don't understand anything where he's.
Yeah, let's not. That's about almost as bad as the Sonic fans. Yeah. Anyway. Oh man. Alrighty. Let me see. Ricardo Noel. America doesn't have options to transportation, just capitalism. I mean, it's just bad and wonky. Honestly, I mean, this is the problem.
It's more corporatism.
Yeah, yeah, that's what it really is, or corporatism. Because there's a difference between corporatism and corporatism. I'm not going to get into the whole thing, but yeah, that's basically what it is. It's corporations running the rules and
quiet zones for boomeritavilles for these old boomers that sleep in our treasure coast are actually killing more people in Florida. Are actually killing people with bright line trains.
Yeah, no, I get it. I honestly I think that.
So what an irony for all these treasure coasts.
Florida has a better future if we could have a younger cohort living in Florida. Let's be real. It's not sustainable to be having just that shouldn't be Florida. Florida shouldn't be meant to be a retirement home for the country. That's
Boomer. Oh, Dimitri, look at this switcher. Look at this switcher.
All right,
look
David.
at
I am gonna be regretting this, am I? Oh, you know, it's not too bad actually. Okay, that's pretty cool. That's cool.
Switcher, like this thing, cool.
That is.
Look
cool,
at that.
Right,
that team looked like he getting ready to do the war.
Yeah,
going up in our ship,
looking like a P-51 right there. That is cool. All right. Okay. Yeah, dump trucker. Yeah. What is oh man. That is me whenever I look at any corner or facet of this house. It's just like what am I looking at?
It's like we're looking to record some art we're gonna build.
Alrighty. Yeah, no more Thomas. No Thomas posting. Yeah, Heartless Fiend has a point there. No more Thomas posting. That is it. Thomas posting has ended for the night. No.
He might be a Heartless Fiend, but he's not evil.
Yeah, he's not evil for sure. Alrighty. Okay, there's a cool thing. There we go. All right. Minnesota commercial introduces America 250 locomotive. Yeah, we're gonna be a lot of cool stuff for the next.
Yeah, they've been cooking. Like they've been cooking with the locomotive to here. And if Union Pacific do what they said with the big boy, let's just say that you're going to have foamers on the East Coast going crazy, and they're talking about driving that thing down Horseshoe Curve. So you're going to have people going nuts.
Let him cook. Let him cook now.
There we are.
Also, the old Excel sets are showing their age. One caught on fire a couple of days ago.
Oh shoot! Really?
I think I saw someone. It's an older one.
Yeah. Yeah, one of the older Excel train sets. Said you didn't know Demetrius?
I'm pretty sure I saw it. I completely forgot about it. I know I was scrolling through X and I saw it. Okay, here we go. Let's put it. I was trying to avoid so much bad news, but okay, here we go. Passengers evacuated after train catches fire in Providence. Oh, Rhode Island, where magic seems to happen. Yeah. Oh man. Dozens of train travelers in Providence forced to deal with an unexpected delays on Sunday afternoon after fire broke out beneath an Acela train on one of the busiest travel days of the year, the Sunday after Thanksgiving. Just after 9:30. This looks like it's on one of the brakes. On the brake lines. Passengers on the Acela train 2263, which runs from Boston to Washington, pulled in the Providence station when flames broke out beneath a few of the train cars. Everyone had to evacuate the train. Temporary hold on the tracks placed by local municipal officers. Let's see what happened. Due to an ongoing mechanical assessment, with riders advised to use a later train. Let me see. No one was hurt. Amtrak services resumed in and out. This looks like something. Look, if they just pulled into a station, which means they were slowing down. And just based on what I'm doing, I'm going to guess and assume it has something to do with a failure in the brake lines.
I would think.
I'm just looking. I'm looking at that, and I'm feeling bad. I'm feeling bad because there goes his resale value.
Yeah. I mean, this looks like. Look, I mean, like, let's be fair. These are 25-year-old high-speed rail trains. I mean, this is
Yeah, they can't. Like,
they've been.
You gotta look at the cars. The entire train set came out in the 2000s.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's not as bad as the Silverliner 4s in Pennsylvania, which were. I mean, we're talking about trains as old as Joe Biden's political career. No, no joke.
Driving right
Okay.
now.
And they've been going on fire all the time, and now the governor wants to go ahead and throw in $219 million for the repairs. I mean, it's kind of nuts.
I'm saying,
man, our
kind of nuts to keep these old trains in service, but
speaking of cooked, our
we are getting new Excelas like every couple months.
Yeah, so at least the new Avelias are replacing them. So I mean, look at this point,
they make more of them, then we'll replace the older ones.
Yeah, these kind of need to belong in where is it? I just lost it now. Yeah,
they belong in a museum.
Yeah, these things belong in a museum. These things definitely belong in a museum. I mean, Silverliner Force, man.
That's one of the Bud lines.
Oh man, yeah. Bud Line doesn't even exist anymore. Bud Line hasn't existed for decades. We're using.
Look how they hold up over time. They haven't spoken.
That's definitely true, and that's obviously a testament to how well things were built back then. I mean, that's just it's insane that these things are still going on. Yeah, we're living on the bones of an old country here. Alrighty, guys, exactly. I think we're gonna go ahead and end it over here. It's 10:02. Let's save it for next time, guys. Save it for next time. Alrighty. Next Tuesday, we're going to go ahead and have a stream. I'll go ahead and say it here. Next Tuesday, unless anything else comes up, but it's right now, it's next Tuesday, guys. Okay, we'll end it here, guys. Everybody, thank you all for joining on board on our first of the Christmas streams of the Christmas season, which does not end until February 2nd. So it is going to be a nice 3 months. Let's enjoy it. Let's have a good time, a holly jolly time. I hope you all have wonderful Christmas, a wonderful night, and a wonderful week. Thank you all for coming on board. We will see you all next time on the American Rail Club. God bless and Godspeed. See you again. Take care.
See ya.
Good night. See you next time. Happy night, everybody.
Good night.